Hello and welcome. My name is Jonas, I'm one of the developers of Islanders. We announced this game yesterday and today I want to show you a bit of gameplay. This is the first time we're showing this game to anybody, so I'm pretty excited for this, and also I'm really in the mood for playing some Islanders now. Really excited. Our marketing approach is pretty much just to be very honest about what our game is, so we're not afraid to show how the gameplay works whatsoever. And also I just wanted to be out there because in the next videos I want to make behind the scenes videos, development videos, just some cool behind the scenes stuff. And in order for that to make any sense, you obviously need to know how the gameplay works. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. We'll play a relaxing round of Islanders now. First of all, I'll explain to you how the game works, and then we'll just try to beat my current high score, which will not be able to do. Also, my camera might be blocking some parts of the UI every now and then. Should keep that in mind. Okay, let's just click on new game, shall we? And let's get into this. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in chat. I'll try to answer everything as much as possible. Okay, so when you start Islanders, you basically start out on a new island. By the way, is the sound fine? Is it too loud? Too silent? Can you hear the game? Can you hear me? Is everything fine? You're so excited. Oh yeah, I'm excited as well. Okay, so the gameplay is basically very simple. It's a very simple system, but still one that provides a lot of complexity. You can see down here you have an inventory with the buildings you have. You just select the building you want to build, and then you need to find a good place for it. On top of the building you can see how many points you get for placing that building there. And this, for example, is the lumberjack. The lumberjack simply gets 1 point for every tree in range. So, I mean, this place here probably makes sense because here I pretty much have all of the trees in range. And then this statue here also gives every building a little bit of a bonus, so this is a pretty nice place because all trees are in range, the statue is in range. Let's just collect those points. And then you see here, down here, this bar is filling up when you gather points. And my first quest is basically to gather 20 points. If I manage to do that, I'll get new buildings into my inventory. And there are a ton of different buildings. This gets quite complicated. Well, maybe I should drink something. My voice is already leaving me way too early. I haven't even started yet. Everything's fine, perfect. So you definitely need to plan ahead a little bit. For example, if you place a lumberjack right here, right at the beginning, you can't really place another one right next to it because, as you can see, the lumberjacks affect each other negatively. If you have another lumberjack in range, that gives -6 points. So the lumberjack gets 1 point for every tree in range, but -6 points for every other lumberjack in range. And that obviously encourages me to place it somewhere else. Maybe here, maybe here. Oh yeah, here's nice. Here we can get 10 points from that statue. By the way, these placement particles you see right here are something I implemented today. They are still work in progress. And now I need to think a little bit. Now I have selected the sawmill, and the sawmill gets 7 points for every lumberjack in range. And maybe you can already start to see how this can get quite complex later on. So I think I'll place one sawmill here. And as I've already collected enough points, I can click on this plus now and select which building I want to get next. Should we choose the farming pack or the brewing pack? I guess we'll go for the farming pack. That's a little more intuitive, and then we just get new buildings into our inventory down here. It's very simple. Let's place our mill here. That one just gives 8 points wherever you place it. And and then these fields give you 5 points for every mill. I think they give 3 points by themselves, so 5 plus 3 equals 8, and they also get 2 points for every other field in range, so that just encourages me to build them around this mill here. But there are a lot of different ways still you can build them. Where do we place this lumberjack? Maybe I'll put another one down here. Oh yeah, that's nice. 12 points. And now let's finally unlock the city pack, which gives me access to most of the city buildings. And now what do you think? Should I build my city up here or down here? As far as I can tell so far, both spots look fine. Maybe there's a little too less space down here. I guess I'll build my city up here, even if it means sacrificing those 2 trees. Bye-bye trees. Your first game on Steam? Yes, it's my first game on Steam. And it's super exciting. I just one of my teammates just uploaded the first build to Steam. A pretty fun feeling to download your own game from Steam. I just did that and it worked. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So mostly what's left to do till release is bug fixing and a little bit of polishing. For example, little stuff like this placement effect, these little cloud particles. They still need a little bit of work. Okay, I hope you understood how this gameplay works. The first island is pretty easy, so I don't think we have too much to worry about. Here, the shaman, it's crazy. I think I have some pretty good shaman spots on this island here. The shaman just gives me 3 points for every flower in range. If you look closely, there are a couple of small flowers on the island. And I just get 3 points for all of them when they're in range. Oh yeah, this looks like a nice spot. And these houses, they get points from other houses and from these city centers and from these shamans. So this is definitely a nice place for this house. And now we already collected enough points for going to the next island. Basically this button down here unlocks as soon as you've collected enough points on the first island. I think you need something like 250 points. So now when we lose, we can still keep playing by going to the next island. And the next island will be a lot bigger, a lot cooler. But obviously I want to place a couple more buildings on this island here before we go to the next one. And I think what's really cool about this game is that you can really play at your own pace. You can play it super slowly. But if you're an impatient person like me, you can also play it super quickly. You don't have to wait for any resources to come in, like it's the case in a lot of other strategy games. You can just place buildings whenever you want and wherever you want. Not really wherever you want, if you want to get a lot of points, but you know what I mean. Okay. Should we take the fountain or the hut? I kind of want to show you the next island. Should we go to the next island right away? What do you think? Or should we try to beat the high score? It's actually pretty insane how much you can fit onto such a small island if you really want to. Especially because later on in the game you get some plateaus you can build on the water here to expand the size of your island, and some plateaus you can build on the walls here, which can give you a lot of extra space. Hey, thanks for the nice words, everybody. How long does this project take? You mean how long did it take to develop this? made this over the course of 4 months as a part of a university project. So big shout out to our university Bachelor Game Design HTW Berlin, and big shout out to all of the professors that helped us to make this, or that gave us feedback. And obviously big shout out to the rest of my team as well. I definitely wouldn't have managed to create something like this myself. I'm really in love with how this game looks, feels and sounds. It's so pretty. I mean, this island is a little dark. Let's see, maybe the next one is a little happier. Let's just go to the next island. I feel like it. Let's go. How many islands are there? The answer to that is unlimited, because they are procedurally generated. Now we landed on a pretty desert island. There's a lot of space. Nice. Yeah, so the islands are procedurally generated. There's an infinite amount of islands. There are certain presets. For example, there's a desert island preset, there's a snow island preset, and all of the desert islands look a little similar. I mean, they all have huge sand areas, they all have a couple of rocks, a couple of trees. But they're still all different, so you'll never see the same island twice, more or less. What was the inspiration for the game? The main point of making this game was basically to make an RTS game that doesn't require you to put hours and hours into it, that you can just play in between, have a bit of fun. And also a strategy game that is very accessible and that everybody can pick up. And I think we managed to do that. So that was basically the inspiration, the starting point, and then it was just constantly iterating step by step, building new versions. As I said, getting a lot of feedback from our friends at university and from our coaches. That's sorta how we developed this. Can you travel between islands anytime? No, have a look here. Dang it. You see down here in the bottom right corner there's an island that slowly fills up as we gather points. And as soon as we've gathered enough points, we can go to the next island. And if we don't manage to do that, if we run out of buildings before we can go to the next island, then it's game over. So it's basically a high score game. There is no way to go back to the previous island, which a couple of people have already complained about. Yeah, you build a beautiful island and then you have to leave it. And we totally get that. I guess that's how the game works, because you build just so many cities. We didn't have the time to implement a feature for saving all of those islands, and we're not sure if that makes sense, because you can literally build these islands so quickly. If you miss your old islands, we recommend just taking a couple of sweet screenshots. This game looks very good on screenshots anyway. So now we're on the second island and there's no way to go back to the first island. Hope I clarified how that works. Love the low poly art. Is it custom made or is it assets? It's custom made by our awesome artist. He did a great job with this. Okay, now maybe I should plan a little bit where I want to build what. There's also some gold on this island, so I'm thinking maybe I'll build one city part here with all of the rich houses, because then later on I can place a jewelry here, which will give me points for all of these houses here, and the jewelry already also needs to be near the gold. And here's a lot of space as well, so maybe I'll build the other city here, and then I'll put my industrial area here and here. That should work, I guess. So let's do that. This is the brewery. The brewery obviously wants to be next to the hop fields. Oh, it's still a little hard to see those numbers on sand. Maybe we should do something about that. Okay. So now once again, we can decide which buildings we want to have. Let's go for the brick industry, because we have a lot of sand here, and the bricks require quite a bit of sand. Oh yeah, these numbers are really hard to see on the sand. So basically that gives me 9 points everywhere, but it has a very big range. And I just need to make sure that I don't place them in range of each other, because they affect each other negatively. So I just want to space them out a little bit. And then place one of these brickyards in between. That one gets 4 points for every sand pit in range. Very nice. And I need to be careful not to destroy these trees here. Oh, nice. 15 points for a lumberjack. I like to see that. How much is this game? This game will be $5 when it comes out, so very affordable. I think it's a very fair price for what you get. Do you think the game is playable on an old laptop? We'll try our best. I would suggest you buy the game, and if it doesn't work, please just refund. Obviously, if it doesn't work, we don't want your money. And the only thing I can promise is that we'll try our very best to make it work on as many machines as possible. In fact, optimization, performance optimization is one of the big things I'm working on at the moment. And Friedemann posts in chat, who's your favorite teammate? You, of course. Yeah, we have some developers in chat. Welcome, Friedemann. Oh no, now he can see when I make strategic mistakes. That is not good. Because it's actually surprisingly fun to do backseat gaming once you get the basics of this game. At the moment you're probably more or less wondering, what the hell is he doing? Why is he placing that here? But I hope it will all make sense very soon. Here, let's go for the city pack once again. Okay, so which city will we start first? Will we start our poor house village or our rich mansion village first? I mean, we can also mix this a little bit here, I guess. I'll just put the mansions on this side. And then I'll put the houses on this side. There's not really anything wrong with putting houses next to mansions. They just don't get any bonus points from one another. So it's a little better to separate them. But in the early game it doesn't really matter, honestly. Okay, I think here I can see another juicy lumberjack. I'm doing great, thank you, Friedemann. Did I do this with a team? Yes, I did this with a team of 3 people. As I've said earlier, this was a university project. And I made this with 2 of my friends and with the help of a lot of feedback from other friends and from our coaches / our professors. I really enjoyed my game, my time at game school. Best thing I got out of it was the people I met there. If I didn't go to game school, I would have never met such an amazing, awesome team I can make games with. Yeah, one of the other devs is in chat. Alright, okay. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is that some buildings cannot be placed on certain surfaces, which helps to increase the variety and makes islands feel more different from one another. So this mill, for example, cannot be placed on sand. It can only be placed on grass, which makes a lot of sense because you need to put these fields next to that mill. So I think what I'll do here is I'll place the fields first and then place the mill after that, because as you can see the mill has a way bigger range than the fields, and they both benefit from being placed next to each other. So if I put the mill here first and then put the fields around it, I can only put a very limited amount of fields there, but if I put the fields on this mountain first and then place the mill on top, I think I can get quite a couple of points out of that. I'll just have to try to save that mill for later. We have a surprising amount of people watching. I really wonder where you're all coming from. Haven't seen that before. I think we cracked a new record. That's awesome. What's the point of the game? It's a high score game. You can see my score down here. The point is to relax and to beat your high score, and if possible to beat your friend's high score as well. And obviously to create something very beautiful, a beautiful city, which I think is very satisfying. I can understand that that's not for everybody, so if you don't see a point in that, then that's totally fine with us. Okay. No, I wanted to save that mill for later. Oh yeah. Then obviously these fissures cannot be placed on land, they need to be placed on water. I think I'll place one here and one on this beautiful lake here. Very nice. I'm very happy with how that city looks so far. Now let's put that here. Loving the art style and relaxing music. Very chill game, yeah. I love it as well. Can I even say that as a developer, or does that sound a little like I'm in love with myself? I'm not sure. But I didn't even make the graphics and the music. That was not what I did. I did mostly balancing gameplay. I came up with all of the building interactions, and I did a lot of the coding. I'm not responsible for these beautiful graphics. Can I fit that in here? Oh no. Oh no. So yeah, game's not perfect. Sometimes there are a couple of little issues here and there. Pretty fun to play Tetris with these houses though, because obviously the closer you put them together, the more points you can get, as they all get points from one another. Okay, what do we build next? Maybe another hop field here. Oh yeah, I really like my hop farm. That already gives me 21 points because there are so many fields nearby. Oh, I didn't even notice I placed those breweries right next to each other. Usually that is not a super brilliant idea, because that obviously costs quite a couple of points. By the way, I already gathered enough points to go to the next island, so if we run out of buildings, oopsie doops, we can just keep playing and continue onwards to the next island. Will it be for Android? No. Not anytime soon. We definitely would love to bring it to Android, not gonna lie. And we've definitely discussed that a couple of times. But it will not be coming to Android anytime soon. First of all, we'll focus on Steam, and then if it goes well, we can think about bringing it to other platforms. For example, Switch is another one we would really like to see this on. Mobile would be great as well. But we're not entirely sure if maybe this is not a little too tiny for mobile. There's a lot of stuff we would have to implement for mobile. Maybe a zoom function. I kind of wonder that I don't get any additional fields. Oh yeah, here we have another one. Very nice. These fountains give a lot of points. Maybe I should wait a bit longer to place that to get even more points. Ah, dang it, I was too unfocused. Now I mixed these two house types a little more than I wanted to. Okay, I think I'll just place the fountain. Oh, maybe this mason first. Here might be a good place for that. That obviously needs to be placed on a stone surface. I kinda wanna leave some places empty. Still need some place in a little bit. Some space. I find it really hard to put this game down. Which might be a normal thing to say for a developer. But sometimes I'm really just like, okay, let me test if this works real quick, and then 1 hour later, I'm still testing. Okay. Oh damn, oh damn, oh yeah. I was just a little worried because I just have one more building left, and if you don't manage to fill that circle up down here, if you don't manage to reach enough points with the buildings you have, then you obviously lose. If you can't go to the next island, but we're safe anyway because we can already go to the next island. Oh yeah, give me those huts. They are really nice. That's one of the buildings that gives you the most freedom. You can place them pretty much wherever you want. Or oftentimes you can place them in really cool places. For example, I want one on this hill. Yes, that looks nice. And I still kind of want to keep that area empty because there are some bigger buildings later on that we still need some space for. Maybe I'll just put another hut on here. Wasn't a super bad place. If we can fit another one up here, it would be cool. Yeah, very nice. Can you lose in this game and how? I just explained that. Should I explain it again? I can do that, but I don't know when you posted the question, so if you want me to explain it again, please ask again. The short answer is yes, you can lose in this game. By running out of buildings. That's a very nice shaman, a lot of points. Let's build a couple more fields on here. Nice. There's not really a super good oh my god, I just was about to say there's not really a super good place for that sawmill, but I see one right here. 23 points, that is more than acceptable. So see, that's one thing I really like about this game system, is that it kind of encourages you not to place these sawmills next to each other, because they don't really like being in range of one another. But that doesn't mean you can never place them next to each other. There are definitely scenarios where that still makes sense. This is one of them. So I think this is just a very simple game system that allows for a lot of different and cool strategies, a lot of planning, but can also play it really casually. Oh yeah, oh yes, give me those sweet parks. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh yes. Might be able to tell that I'm enjoying myself. Maybe I should talk a little more about what I'm doing here. Okay, now it's getting a little close again. See, I have 2 more buildings in my bar down here, and I need to reach 1,300 points in order to get more buildings. I need to fill up this entire circle here, otherwise I lose, or I have to go to the next island. I haven't lost yet because I already gathered enough points for the next island. Yeah, but I mean, this shaman should allow me to grab quite a couple of points somewhere, because that one gives 3 points for every flower, which can be really insane sometimes. And when you start out playing this game, the basic workflow for placing a building is usually dragging the building all over the map and just seeing where it gives you the most points. But as you keep playing and as you keep getting better, you can firstly do that more intuitively, and secondly start planning ahead. Like, I really want to have a market here, or do I want to put the temple here? Or will I even get to the temple? That's maybe the more interesting question, because this is my last building. Yes, I think we might be able to get there. Okay, this is something I want to show you as well. This is a plateau. This is a really big, massive building. And we thought it's just cool. Now you can build on that plateau as well. It gives you a couple of extra points when you build houses on that. And I just ruined the empty space I said I wanted to keep for a market. At the very least I put a big building there. Guess it's fine. I wish I would get another city center. There's also a little bit of randomness involved, which has obviously upsides and downsides. Sometimes you just get unlucky, sometimes you get lucky. But one of the big upsides is also that it adds quite a bit of replayability. Okay, I think we're screwed. I think I can't reach 1,395 points with just that hut. That's basically my last building. But luckily we got enough points to go to the next island. So let's see what the next island looks like. Hey, the game looks cool, thank you. I missed a question up there by Gymnasia. Was it made in Unity? And what did you guys use for the 3D art? The game was made in Unity, and for the 3D art we used Blender. That's the short answer. Now you get the concept. Okay, yeah. See, it's not quite as casual as it looks at first. I mean, okay, it doesn't really look that casual, but it takes you a couple of minutes to get how it works, and after that it starts getting really, really fun. It's called Islanders on Steam. Yes, if you would do us a very good, a big favor, if you would just all go to the link in the description and wishlist the game on Steam. If you want to have it, there's a link in the description. That would be awesome. If this game looks like something you would like to play, then this is a very nice way to support our development endeavors and help us to make more games like this, and to maybe keep working on this game a little bit, bring it to other platforms. Do you have a driver license? That is an interesting question, XCat. Yeah, I do have a driver license, but I'm one of those people that really do not like driving. I'm a little scared of it, so I don't really drive all that often. I don't mind too much, but if I can, I'll just take the bike or whatever. Okay, now here we have a little bit of a different island, because we have very little building space here. It just popped into my mind that maybe I should explain how this works. And you basically build the entire city on these wooden platforms that you can place in the water, which is really cool, mixes the gameplay up, adds a bunch of new strategic elements, and also looks awesome. So now I'm thinking, where do I place this? So as you can see here, these platforms get 1 point from every tree as well. The logic behind that is sort of that you need wood to build them. So let's maybe... where do we build that city? I think probably here. We have a lot of space here. So let's build the main city here. Then maybe we can build some of the farming stuff on here. Let's see how that works out. So now the question is, should I go for more points by slightly dragging that into the island, or should I go for a bit more space? I think I'll go for the points. And to make things even more interesting, sometimes you get these wooden platforms with a little bit of grass on top. So you really have to think where you want to put them. And obviously we need these grass areas to place certain buildings like the mill and the fields. We can't just place the fields on a wooden platform. Okay. I think it's a good idea to go for the lumberjack first on this island. A lot of nice spots for lumberjacks. By the way, if I miss any of your questions, feel free to post them again. Sometimes I'm not looking at chat enough, I have to admit. You worked on this game, or you just helped the team by showing the game? I worked on this game. I made this game about 33% of this game was made by me. My role was mostly game design, programming, and prototyping. I did a lot of the balancing, a lot of the interactions between those buildings. But I would have never been able to make a game like this without my amazing team. And a lot of what you see here is also not by me. Okay, so now it looks like we have a lot of space here for a nice little city center. Let's put that here. By the way, if you're interested in more behind-the-scenes stuff for this game, how the entire publishing process works on Steam, I intend to make some videos about that sometime soon. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do that as well. Because we already decided on the fact that we're pretty much willing to share pretty much everything about the development process. I will even be able to show you how the Unity process how the Unity project looks like, how the island generation works. I'll be able to show you all of that in one of the upcoming videos. For now, let's try to squeeze a couple more buildings next to the city center, because the city center gives a big bonus to these buildings. Very nice. And then these how do you even pronounce them? Masons are a very nice strategic component as well, because they give a bonus to some stone buildings as well. If I place a market here or a temple, it will benefit quite a bit from this mason. Okay, let's hope I get a little more. No, that's not a green one. I want a little more grass area. Oh, nice. Here we have some more grass area. Very nice, very nice. Now I can place the brewery here, and then this hop field in range of the brewery. I see 7 points, 5 points. Let's take the 7 for the lumberjack. 5 points here. Okay. Shaman and farming pack. In this situation, I'm not super convinced by any of those options, because on islands like this you don't have a lot of grass area to work with, so I don't really want to take the farming pack just yet. But I'm not sure if I see any areas with a lot of flowers for the shaman. Oh yeah, I mean, that's pretty reasonable. 15 points here. Oh my god. The flowers are not very visible on this island, but oh my god. 27 points. I'm more than satisfied with that. Very, very nice. is pretty chill after a day of work, relaxing with a bit of Islanders. After a day of Islanders work. I've gotta be real, 50% of my development time is playing this game anyway. Because as I've said, every time I wanna test something, I just end up playing for way longer than I should. Nice. This is already starting to look quite good. Okay. Maybe put another mason here. And it's very interesting when you watch people playing this game, because people really play this at very different speeds. Some people are just looking for the perfect place for every single building for 20 minutes and it just takes forever for some people. And some people just go and just casually place these buildings wherever they want. And both works, you know, you can play this game pretty casually. That's totally possible. Okay, on this level I definitely want to go for the hut, because that one doesn't require a lot of space but can still give you quite a couple of points. Parks are obviously nice as well, but once again parks need to be placed on grass. I guess I have quite a bit of grass here, so let's try that. Oh yeah, that was actually worth it. These parks get points for houses and mansions. And now we actually have quite a bit of grass area here. Got lucky this time. But going for these grass buildings is definitely a little risky at times. Oh no, come on, I want to get a fisher. Okay, let's take the plateau. You already know that building. And the cool thing about that is it can already also be placed on water. So I might use that to maybe build a temple on top of that later on. Let's already prepare for that. Okay, city center here. Oh, this looks good so far in terms of score. I'm still far ahead of where I should be. Oh yeah, let's take the tower. Yummy. It takes you quite a while to run out of new buildings. I think there are something like 20, 30 different buildings. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's definitely quite a couple. Okay, now we gathered enough points to go to the next island, so if we run out of buildings on this one, we'll still be able to proceed to the next level. Ooh, this is a nice spot for a hut. Let's place it here. And then this tower obviously gets better and better the longer we save it, because it just gets 1 point for every house in range. And this one thing I was talking about earlier, it also gets 7 points for every mason in range. So it was actually a pretty good decision to place these masons here earlier. Stuff like that is what that's the kind of points you only get if you do a little bit of planning ahead. And then some of the other buildings that are still not here yet require quite a bit of planning ahead as well. Yeah, definitely want to put a mason here. The warehouse. Do I want to have the warehouse? The warehouse basically gets points for every industry building in range, and it also later on gives some points to the market. I think warehouse is probably a better call than the mill on this island. Best of luck to the game, looks really dope. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you want to make a competitive game mechanic, I can add a timer to count the time backwards. If it reaches 0, the score is your end result. I think making a speedrun of this game would actually be quite fun. I tried that, and I think there might be an achievement for that as well, if you speedrun the first couple of levels in a certain amount of time. Because there's no limit for how fast you can build those buildings. You can literally place them right after each other. You can probably get the score I'm having right now within 2 or 3 minutes if you're really fast. Yeah, I also got a little unlucky with this monument statue. Or, I mean, not really unlucky, but I was not quite clever enough to build my city next to that, because obviously a lot of buildings benefit from that as well. Or basically every building benefits from that. Nice, nice, nice. Give me those points. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, which building do we get next? Ah, the circus. Already have the perfect setup for that, because the circus wants to be next to houses and not next to mansions. I can just place it over here and get 4 points for each of those buildings. Dang it, I kind of want to fit it in here. Let's see if we can make that work if I place another platform here. Oh, yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about. 40 points. Very nice, very nice. That mason. Ah, that's probably the best place at the moment. Okay, we get 18 points for the warehouse here. Warehouse gets points, as I said, for most of the industry buildings, the fisher, these masons as well. Let's put that here. Can we find a better place? 16, 18, yeah, let's go with that. And then I need to make sure I leave some space for the market here. This will pretty much be the perfect place for the market. Well, let's try to leave that empty. I said that last time and then I still built something there. Okay, maybe we can think about starting another little settlement over here at some point in time. I know, just grabbing those points from those trees, from those juicy trees. You really want to play this game? Yes. I can play it, and you can't. No, you'll actually be able to play this quite soon, 4th of April. And we just wanted to show you some gameplay of this, because we just don't want to set any wrong expectations. One of our tweets caught on Twitter. Oh my god, that's a lot of points for the market. Oh, I kind of forgot how big the range of the market is, so I didn't even have to leave this empty. You can also place it here. And you can see it gets 20 points from this... What is this again? Warehouse. So that's definitely important to keep that in mind, that you definitely want to place the market somewhere near the warehouse. Sorry, I kind of lost track of what I was saying before. I got too distracted from the warehouse. Oh, give me those points, yes. Is the game built in Unity? Yes, that's a Unity game. Unity is a great engine for making all sorts of games. I'm a big Unity fan. Oh yes, let's place that fountain here. I actually have a pretty decent run on this island so far. We might be able to get to some of the late game buildings. Okay, this is one of the late game buildings, the resort. Unfortunately, I didn't really plan for that. If I thought about that, maybe I would have left a bit of empty space here, because the resort just basically wants a nice little quiet place for itself. Oh no, why did I click on it? No. Oopsie doopsie. Oh no. Oh, it fits somewhere. Oh no, no, no. This is not good. Because we can't place it next to the island here. Doesn't want to be, sorry, next to the city. Doesn't want to be next to the city. Why the hell is the... Forgot I said anything. It gets bonus points from wooden platforms. That looks a little overpowered. I might have to look into that. Also, I'm not sure it makes sense. Why would the resort get bonus points from wooden platforms? That's a little strange. Okay. Let's keep building our park. I'm a little sad that we don't have any green area, grass area over here. Oh yeah, let's place the market before I destroy that opportunity. Yummy, 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 yummy. Oh nice, now we got the tavern. That's a cool building as well. The tavern wants to be next to the brewery and next to the houses. You can already see, if I would have been a little smarter, I would have put the brewery more on this side towards the houses. Because now if I put the brewery, the tavern here, I can't really reach both the brewery and the houses. Oh no, actually I can. But barely, that's barely working. That could have gone horribly wrong. But I got lucky here. Very nice. Let's pull a couple more huts. Oh, finally, the temple, that's what I wanted to have all along. And what should we pick? Let's pick the city walls. Okay. The temple is one of those buildings that is a little tricky to place, but if you plan ahead, you can get an insane amount of points from that building. As you can see, if I just place it somewhere here, it gives minus 95 points. So if I accidentally click here, I'm basically game over. Ah no, I'm not game over, I unlocked the next island already. The temple just gets a lot of points for houses next to it. And also for masons, gets 25 points for every mason next to it. Maybe I should put it here. Nah, here's probably better. But some buildings also have a certain score by default. The temple has a default score of minus 75 to balance it out a little bit. So if you're not clever about placing that building, then it's pretty useless. But if you're clever about it, then you can get an insane amount of points from it. Nice, let's place a fisher here. And what I like as well, what adds a little bit of strategic depth as well, is that the order in which you place buildings matters as well. See, I was a little patient with placing that tower, and now it already gets me 46 points. I bet if I wait even longer and add a couple more houses here and there, that tower will give a lot of points later on. Really like to build another mason somewhere here next to the temple. Yeah, but that's not really possible anymore. Already screwed that up. you use Unity as well? Yeah. There's no combat in this game. It's just a peaceful building game. It's one of the restrictions we set when we started making this game, that we wanted to make a game where conflict is not resolved with violence. That doesn't mean that we don't like violent games. There's nothing wrong with having a bit of violence in your video games. We just thought that not having violence in your game actually already sets you apart from so many other games, because so many other games do have combat in their games. So if you make a game without combat, that is already actually quite a unique selling point. Oh, nice. And now I got one of my favorite buildings, one of my favorite structures, these platforms here. And they basically allow you to build on the walls of these islands. They can not be placed on the water, I think, no, but they can be placed on the walls here. So now I can do really crazy stuff like building a wooden platform on top of that city, and then building... Jeez, can I play... Oh my god, that's... I have never thought about that. That's an... Oh, that's a... So I just found something new in my game. Nice. Because then you still get points for all of these houses down there if you place the temple on top. If you place them next to each other, then obviously that would not be possible. Nice, 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 nice. I still keep keep finding new things. That's cool. Oh no. Yeah, now I ruined that place for the temple anyway. Can't place the temple here anymore. It reminds me of a game called Inquilinox by Thin Matrix. I'm a big fan of Thin Matrix content, both of his YouTube videos as well as his game Inquilinox. I think he makes great stuff as well. Okay, where do we go from here? I kinda would like to build a couple more houses here before I place the temple on top, because that is just such a cool place for a temple. Juicy, juicy. Okay, let's just place the temple here. Yeah, that looks cool. Can place that tower right next to the temple. Oh, now we're actually running out of buildings. That's all the buildings there are in game. So it's quite a couple. It's not infinite, but it's definitely enough to make this game quite interesting, challenging, and varied. And from that point on, whenever you hit that plus button down there, you just get new buildings, and you can't choose a new type of building. Okay, we'll soon go to the next island, I promise. I'll just place all of these buildings real quick. Oh, nice, I finally got another city center. Okay, where do we build our mill? Let's just do it up here. A pretty nice city I built here. I'm quite proud. Unfortunately, I don't really have another nice spot for this resort. Geez, why did I already waste my plateau? I could have built that plateau over here and put the resort on top of that. Okay, now I kind of understand why I made it in a way that the resort gets 5 points for every wooden platform, because you can still mess it up. You don't get points for it automatically. Jeez, okay, I got it. Let's place a couple of city walls around that. Okay. I'm actually running out of buildings now. Not sure if I can make it to 3,510 points, which is what I need to get a refill. Yeah, see, if I had placed that one of these platforms differently, then we could continue playing, but this is getting very close now. All I have left is this resort, and I don't have a good place for it. Okay, let's go to the next island. By the way, is the volume still fine? Everything working? Stream quality fine? Ah, jeez, now we got another rainy island. The one before was already a little dark and rainy. Okay, but at the very least it's a very cool looking blah 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 island with a lot of ruins. And we try to vary the gameplay quite a bit here and there. For example, on this island you start out with these monuments. That's the first building you get. And if you remember, these monuments give pretty much all other buildings a bonus once you place them next to these monuments, so should consider very carefully where you want to put them. I think I'll put one down here so I can build a nice sand pit industry down here. Oh, I wonder if I can actually afford to put two of these next to each other. I've never tried that. Because obviously that gives more points, fewer points initially, but might give more points in the long run. We'll see. And here, see, that's once again one of those cases where it doesn't really matter if you put the same building next to each other. You can do that even if they give minus points to one another, because now the advantage is that I can leverage all of those sand pits with those brickyards. Juicy, plus there's not really enough space to put all of those sand pits on here anyway. Now that I think about it, I should have probably put those sand pits over here, because then I could have put another brickyard on the other side. Oh, I can still do that. If that brickyard wants to go in here, nice. Nice. How much time did this game take to develop? We made the majority of this within 4 months as part of a university project, and now we're taking another month to finish this all up. Which, actually this is a pretty short amount of time. Surprisingly short amount of time, in my opinion. I would have never thought that we could make something like this in 4 to 5 months. Okay, I think the strategy I'm about to try is a little insane. Let's see how many points we get for those houses now. Luckily the game's not out yet, so if I find any OP strategies I can still try to fix them. That's more or less my job in the team. One of my jobs, I should say. Okay. Now, one of the problems of putting these next to each other is obviously that you cannot put them elsewhere. I would really have liked to have one of these statues up here, for example, one of these monuments. Let's just see. Let's speed this up a little bit. That's really quite surprising how much replayability this game already has. Or has. There's not a lot we'll add till launch, just a bit of polishing, as I've said earlier. What you see right here is pretty much what you'll get at launch day for $5, which is a very fair price. Wishlist on Steam now. Link to that is in the description if you want to check that out. If you feel like this is something you would enjoy as well, we would definitely appreciate that. Okay, I'm not putting a lot of thought into into building right now, which might come to bite me in the back sometime later. Like, I didn't even look where the gold is. That is definitely an important question. Okay, the gold is over here. And as you can see, these Islanders play sessions can actually be quite long, but the cool thing is you can just close the game super easily and then open it up anytime and just keep playing wherever you left off. Super easy. There's no long loading process or whatever. It's just a perfect game for playing in between. But it's also a very nice game for longer play sessions. Let's go for the Fisher hut. Oh, even though the city is a little far away. Oh no, it's still close enough. The Fisher just wants to be placed on the water, and it wants to be close to the city, of course, because that's where it needs to bring its fishes to. There's not enough space. And maybe this time I can be a little smarter about where I place the temple. I think this here would be a very nice place for the temple, because I can put these masons next to it, and the temple gets a lot of bonus points for masons, because it's a giant stone building. Obviously requires quite a bit of stone. You're buying this? Thank you. We're happy to hear that. And as I said earlier, our main goal is really not to trick you into buying this. If this looks like something you would like to play, then buy it. Otherwise, please don't. How did you guys find each other and work together? This game started out as a project at Game School. So we basically met at Game School. Big shout out to HTW Berlin Bachelor Game Design. That's where we met. That's where we started making this game. We basically developed this game in university for 4 months in a 3-person team. And this should be a very nice island for the... Oh my! I think I've never seen this amount of points for a shaman. See, our game even has gambling. Yummy, yummy. The shaman gets points for all of these flowers here. That was an insane amount of points. And these rocks right here are really pissing me off, because they are slightly too steep to build anything on them. Yeah, that usually doesn't happen. In this case, it's a little annoying. I guess I could build a mason on that, because they can be built on a little more steep terrain. Okay, let's make our industry area over here, which is a little too far away from the city. Having it a little closer to the city would be nice, because then we can connect city and industry area with with that building where you store resources. How is it called? Dang it. My English sometimes not quite good enough. Okay, so this is actually the first island that I usually struggle with. This is the first one that gets hard for me. First 3 islands are usually pretty easy. 4th island is where it starts getting a little more difficult. Obviously these islands are all randomized. The 4th island always looks different. But what makes the 4th island tricky is that you need to collect quite a large amount of points to reach the next island. Oops, where can I make myself disappear here? You see at the bottom right here, we need to fill this island icon up, and whenever we get points, that fills up a little bit. And we need to collect quite a large amount of points in order to unlock the next island. But I'm a developer, so well, if I don't make it, we'll just cheat to the next island to see how it looks like. I want to see some more bright and happy islands. This one is a little dark and rainy as well. Got a pretty good start, but I wasn't really paying attention to a lot of the buildings I placed, so we might lose very soon anyway. Nice. Now I get another mill. Here's another trick we can do. If you place that mill first, then you get the points for each of these fields only once. But if we put these fields in between here, then both of the mills should be able to profit from that. Now if I put that mill over here, yeah, here, then it still gets the points for all of these fields. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Okay, I think... Oh no, I'm not running out of buildings yet. Okay, let's speed this up a little bit. I want to show you another island. I think you get the point of this more or less. Where did I say I wanted to build a temple? Oh yeah, right, I wanted to build the temple here, but I didn't. Great job, Jonas. Very good job. Okay, let's place another brewery. Where should we place that? Place that here. Another field. Let's place that here. Place that mason here. Oh, a tower. Juicy, juicy. Could have gotten a little more points out of it if I had saved it for later, but just felt like placing it, which is totally fine as well in most cases if you're not playing in super try-hard mode. And now I finally got my beautiful warehouse. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for earlier. And now I can benefit from putting all of these buildings pretty close to each other. All of these industrial buildings, because they all give points to the warehouse, because they can store their resources in the warehouse. And now later on, if I get the market, I'm screwed because I can't place it next to the warehouse and next to the city, which would have been super nice. That is not possible because my city is too far away. Oh, maybe we can build something down here at some point. That would look nice. I would like that. Don't really have any good places for these houses at the moment. Let's exploit this flower field up here a little more. It's just so overpowered. But I just got lucky this time. online, or you know each other in university, how do you think I can look for people to create a team together? I mean, that's already a very good attitude, I think. A lot of people just want to make games alone, honestly. Myself included. I'm quite interested in making games alone as well. But now that I have the direct comparison between working on a game alone and working on a game in a team, I definitely have to say working on a team is the more pleasant experience, because even if you have just 3 people, 2/3 of the game basically makes itself. I mean, imagine making a game and 2/3 of the game just appear out of nowhere. I mean, how cool is that? That is awesome. Unfortunately, I don't really have a very good answer for your question. Where can you find people? I have no idea. I mean, I was lucky that I've found some talented people that wanted to team up with me at game school. See, that's a big screw up here as well, because usually you want that gold mine to be next to these mansions, next to these little richer people. Because now if I place the jewelry here, those poor houses are not really interested in that. Yeah, but at the very least they're interested in the circus, so let's put that here. Oh, beautiful forest up here as well. And now I'm slowly but surely running out of buildings. Oh yes, I want to place the market, even though not sure if I have a good place for it. Up here, so all of the people always have to climb up there. Yeah, let's do that. Sounds reasonable. Nice. Yeah, that we can't really profit from that jewelry right now. There are not enough mansions nearby. Or maybe I can just put that jewelry here and not put it next to the gold mine, which at the very least gives me a couple of points, but I mean the gold mine gives 30 points, so that's a little bit of a shame that we're missing out on that. Otherwise we would have gotten 57 points for this building, but okay. I'm satisfied with 27. Oh yeah, nice. This time around we have some untouched nature here, which is very good for the resort. Jeez, how many flowers are on this island? It's crazy. A little insane. And now all I have left is a couple of fields, but maybe if I'm lucky I'll be able to gather enough points for the next buildings. Okay, at the very least I have the houses next to the brewery, which allows me to place the tavern somewhere where it's both in range of the houses as well as in range of the brewery. Hey, DVS Games, welcome. Thanks for joining this beautiful rainy development stream. It's not really a development stream, I guess, it's more playing one round of Islanders stream. Okie dokie. I'm afraid that's it. Oh no, I have another jewelry. Is there a good place for that? Okay, not super optimal, but should carry me to the next level. Now we get the temple. I don't have a good place for the temple. I didn't really plan for that. Let's not take it. running out of space here as well. Which, if we wait long enough, is not a big problem, because then we get these wooden platforms to extend the terrain here, and then I can still put it here. We're not quite there yet, and I need points now. I can't wait any longer. Yeah, that's not good. Okay. Oh geez, look at the island button. It's almost filled up. It's probably at 95% or something like that, so we don't need a lot more points. That is a shame. But as I've said, luckily the developer might know how to get a couple of bonus points. You didn't see anything. Let's just go to the next island, because I think there's not really any good place for those buildings that we had right there. Oh, it's another one of those. But at very least this time it looks a little more friendly. Wait a sec, I'll actually cheat to the next island. Just want to show you a couple more islands. Okay, I guess we'll just restart. New game. Who here has wishlisted Will You Snail? No, you're not supposed to wishlist Will You Snail. No, actually, you're supposed to wishlist Islanders. Okay, this is, I guess, a little bit of a different starting island. There's still a little bug where sometimes these flowers get way too big. Whenever I see one of these islands, I just instantly have to start building something on them. Oh yeah, that's another pretty one. I like that. Let's have a look at one more. Maybe we get a snow island. I would like to show you a snow island. But maybe we shouldn't give everything away just yet. Maybe. It's still early. It's still, oh yeah. Tasty. Okay, but I think that's gonna be it for this live stream. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any more questions, you can still ask them now. I'll be here answering some more of your questions for the next couple of minutes. If there's anything I haven't answered yet, or something I have answered yet, I'm happy to answer it again. As I've said, there will be some behind-the-scenes videos on this channel in the next weeks, talking about how we made this game, how our development process looks like, and all of that stuff. Maybe have a little glance at the Unity project, how the level generation works, how the entire project is set up in Unity. If you find that interesting, we can look into that. Antique Games, you just got here. Yeah, you can watch the stream replay. I'm sorry about that. Plus, I'm sure we'll do another live stream of this sometime before launch. We'll definitely do it again, so don't worry. You didn't miss the only opportunity for this. Now we have people searching for our team in chat. That's a nice way to do it, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if you want to find a team, just go somewhere where there are a lot of developers, maybe to a game jam. I think game jams are actually a great way to meet developers. And then you can even do a small project together with them to see if you kind of synergize with each other, fit together. Definitely not a super bad way to go about it. I like the music, sounds a bit like Minecraft music. Yeah, actually, now that you say it, it does sound a little bit like Minecraft music, you're right. Are you going to publish updates during the next month, or is this the finished game? What you see right here is pretty much what you're gonna get at launch. We'll just do a bit of polishing, bug fixing, and performance improvements in the time till then, and then after launch we might do a couple of updates, we might not. So, I mean, if you don't like the game in its current state, you just probably should wait a little and not buy it. But I think it's a very, very fun game already, so don't rely on it getting better anytime soon, because it already is pretty awesome. And as I've said, you don't have to like this game. We're totally fine with that. But if this looks like something you would like to play, then the link to the Steam page is in the description, and you would really help us out by wishlisting the game. That would be fantastic. And that's pretty much all I had to say, and we're also running out of questions, so we'll just end the stream here, and I'm sure we'll do another stream sometime in the future, and of course, as I've said, a couple of behind-the-scenes videos in the very near future as well, to cover all of the questions you have and to show you how we made this game, what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.